whole world savior Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Tata Shata Shri Shrimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Asta Tata Shata Shri Shrimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Founder Acharya of Iskcon, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Iskcon Guru Vrinda Ki. Prem Shagaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shramakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Shiva Nila Madhava Dham Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Yamuna Devi Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Shrimati Tulsi Maharani Ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Their most merciful Lordship Shri Shri Nitai Chaitanya Chandra Nitai Gaur Chandra Ki. Shri Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki. Shri Shri Radha Giridhari Ki. Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ki. And the most beautiful Lordship Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava Ki. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Giridhari Ki Jai Shri Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Shinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hibhadrani Virunoti Surat Satam Nashtapraya Shravadvyasu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Yutama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 83rd chapter, texts 2 through 4. 4 is on the board, so I guess we'll recite that. Let's see here. Hitvatmadama virudatma kritraya vastam. Hitvatmadama virudatma kritraya vastam. Ananda samplavamakandamakunta bodham. Kalopasrishta nigamavana ata yoga. Maya kritim paramahamsa gatim natasma. Hitvatmadama virudatma kritatriyavastam. Ananda samplavamakandamakunta bodham. Kalopasrishta nigamavana ata yoga. Maya kritim paramahamsa gatim natasma. Vaishnavis. He, indeed, toi, to you, Atma, of your personal form, Dhamma, by the illumination, Viduta, dispelled, Atma, by material consciousness, Krita, created, Three, Avastam, the material conditions, Ananda, in ecstasy, Samplavam, within whom is the total immersion, Akandam, unlimited, Akunta, unrestricted, Bodham, whose knowledge, Kala, by time, Upasrishta, endangered, Nigama, of the Vedas, Avane, for the protection, Atta, having assumed, Yogamaya, by your divine power of illusion, Akritim, this form, Paramahamsa, of perfect saints, Gatim, the goal, Nata Sma, we have bowed down. I'll read this translation and purport, and then we'll go through and read 2, 3, and 4 again. Translation: the radiance of your personal form dispels the threefold effects of material consciousness. And by your grace, we become immersed in total happiness. Your knowledge is indivisible and unrestricted. By your Yoga Maya potency, you have assumed this human form for protecting the Vedas, which had been threatened by time. We bow down to you, the final destination of perfect saints. Purport. Simply by the effulgent light emanating from the beautiful form of Lord Krishna, one's intelligence is purified of all material contamination. And thus the soul's various entanglements in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance are dispelled. How then, the Lord's relatives imply, can we ever suffer misfortune? We are always immersed in absolute happiness. This is their answer to his inquiry about their welfare. So, returning to text 2, translation. Feeling greatly honored, King Yudhisthira and the others, freed of all sinful reactions, by seeing the feet of the Lord of the universe, gladly answered his inquiries. So Krishna inquired from Yudhisthira and others about their welfare. So King Yudhisthira and others were freed of all sinful reactions by seeing the feet of the Lord of the universe, and they gladly answered his inquiries. Text 3. Lord Krishna's relatives said, O Master, how can misfortune arise for those who have even once freely drunk the nectar coming from your lotus feet? This intoxicating liquor pours into the drinking cups of their ears, having flowed from the minds of great devotees through their mouths. It destroys the embodied soul's forgetfulness of the creator of their bodily existence. In text 4 again, the radiance of your personal form dispels the threefold effects of material consciousness, and by your grace we become immersed in total happiness. Your knowledge is indivisible and unrestricted. By your Yoga Maya potency, you have assumed this form for protecting the Vedas, which had been threatened by time. We bow down to you, the final destination of perfect saints. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Paritanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Giradhara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktarinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, the answer to the question that Krishna asked about their welfare was that how can there possibly be any misfortune when we're with you, right? And that was the answer. How can there possibly be inauspiciousness? Meaning Krishna was asking them, but their answer was, hey, if we're near you, then then you already know our condition. We're good. We're really good. So that's what the devotees are saying, and they're saying it very poetically here, especially I like text 3 a lot. The asavam, the intoxicating nectar of the lotus feet of Krishna that pours out of the mouths of pours out of the mouths of devotees, and it's from the minds of, how's this here? So from the minds of great souls, it pours through their mouth, this intoxicating nectar of Krishna's lotus feet. That means Krishna's in their minds, Krishna's in their heart. Mind and heart are usually interchangeable terms in Sanskrit, from the chitta, or from the mind and heart. So great souls have Krishna in their heart. I mean, everyone has Krishna in their heart, but only the great souls actually pay attention to him, and which is called Krishna consciousness. So the great souls are Krishna conscious, and they are relating to the Lord constantly. What's that one verse from Brahmasamhita? Premanjana Trita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And that's very relevant in this context. Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. So their eyes are eyes of bhakti, the bhakti Vilochana. By the eyes of devotion, and premanjana, they're smeared with an anjana, an ointment of prema. So the eyes of devotion smeared with the ointment of prema. Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. The great saints, the santas. One time I heard a devotee say that, Prabhupada disciples said that during the Christmas marathon, they dressed up as Santa Clauses. They put on Santa Claus outfits and went in front of different stores and were collecting donations, and then they'd hand out books. And someone, challenged them and said, you guys are not Santa Claus, you're imitating, you guys are just trying to make money. And he pulled open to a verse in chapter 3 of the Gita. It's 13, I think, yeah, right? Yes. I think so. Yeah, here it is. Text 13 of chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes, the devotees of the Supreme Lord, or the persons who are in Krishna consciousness, are called santas. And they are always in love with the Lord, as described in the Brahma Samhita, 538. So yeah, Santa means a great devotee, a great soul, saint. Santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Sada, they're certainly always, these great souls are always seeing vilokayanti. They're always seeing in their heart, hridayeshu. They're always seeing in their hearts what? Yam shama sundaram achintya gunasvarupam. Krishna's form of Shama Sundar, who's possessing inconceivable qualities. So that's what's in the great, that's the great souls, okay? We've established the great souls have this divine vision of devotion. They have love of God smeared on their eyes. They're always seeing Krishna, Shama Sundar, within their hearts. And so, what happens? When they open their mouth, what happens? Stuff comes out. Stuff comes out. But not just any kind of stuff. See, stuff comes out of everyone's mouth, actually. Prabhupada says also that one can distinguish the difference between a fool and, a learned man, depending how he speaks. Is that right? Is that how he's... Yes, so he says like he's a well-dressed fool. You don't know he's a fool. He might be well-dressed. You might be thinking, really, wow, look at that guy. And then as soon as he starts speaking, you realize, oh, that's a fool. Because the quality of speech, that quality of sound vibration, which emanates from one's mouth, is very indicative of one's consciousness. And so, just like the croaking of the frog, which attracts the snake, materialists are always speaking prajalpa, mundane affairs. So the quality sounds like a frog, ribbit, and that's just annoying. It's upsetting. It's aggravating, actually. It's upsetting to the heart. We feel exhausted from that. And also it invites the snake of time to, come eat one up. But the devotees, when they speak and open their mouth, what comes out is, here what's being said is an intoxicating liquor. An intoxicating liquor. And what is that intoxicating liquor? It's the nectar that's coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. So the Lord's feet are described as like lotus-like, like a lotus flower. So you can, there's like there's a bee will collect the nectar from a flower. And so there's some nectar in a flower, some nectar on the lotus feet of the Lord. And that nectar can be made into a liquor. And it's intoxicating. Its effects are profound. And what does it do? It destroys all inauspiciousness. All inauspiciousness is destroyed. That's what's being said here. How can misfortune arise for one who's drunk that nectar? And the interesting thing is we don't drink it like a soda or something. You actually drink it through the ear. You drink the lotus feet nectar of Krishna through the ear. So this nectar from Krishna's lotus feet is made available through his pure devotees, and when they speak, that nectar enters into the drinking cups of the ear. Prabhupada uses this phrase, submissive oral reception. Shri Shri Radha Nilamadhava Ki Jai. He uses that phrase a lot in the first canto, I've noticed. Submissive oral reception. So that's really important, to hear orally, to receive orally, but submissively. Submissive oral reception. That's how we hear the Bhagavatam. That's how we hear devotees speak about Krishna. Submissive oral reception. And then our ears are like drinking cups. And also this last little bit, it destroys the embodied soul's forgetfulness of the creator of their bodily existence. So it seems like my understanding is Krishna is the creator of the body, of their bodies, so that it eradicates their forgetfulness of the creator, which means you realize God, essentially. This is what's being said. We're forgetful of God, so by drinking this nectar, we realize God. What is the nectar? It's the nectar of Krishna Katha. That's what we're talking about here. It's Krishna Katha. Devotees speak about Krishna. Devotees speak about Krishna's names, fames, forms, qualities, and pastimes. So by receiving that sound vibration of Krishna Katha from the mouth of a pure devotee, one is coming in contact with the remedy, the cure for the real disease of the heart, which is ignorance, avidya. So that ignorance of the creator of their bodily existence is destroyed. And then today's verse, the radiance of your personal form dispels the threefold effects of material consciousness. And by your grace, we become immersed in total happiness. So when one actually is in contact with Krishna through this sound vibration, or through the deities, or through the devotees, I heard a nice offering by Burijan Prabhu yesterday. He was speaking in Govardhan on Prabhupada's disappearance day. And Burijan Prabhu said that he spent a lot of time with Srila Prabhupada, and he was in Prabhupada's association for months, traveling to Fiji and here and there. And then he got stationed in Dallas. He was, for the first time, serving like really legitimately installed deities. That's what he was saying. So he never did that before. So he stepped on the altar to worship Radha Kalachandji. And he said that the feeling he got when he went on the altar was exactly the same feeling that he had when he was in Srila Prabhupada's presence. And his point was that Prabhupada was carrying Radha and Krishna in his heart. He was in Vrindavan all the time. Wherever Radha and Krishna is Vrindavan. So that was, he said that he realized that at that point that, when he was in the association of Srila Prabhupada, he was in the association of the Supreme Lord. He had the same feeling. And so here we see that radiance destroys material consciousness. The threefold the threefold effects of material consciousness, which could potentially mean three modes of nature, or it could mean the three kleshas, threefold material or it could mean wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep. There's multiple threes. But anyways, all these things is material, so it's destroying that by coming in contact with this radiance of Krishna's personality. So I'd like to anyways, the point of these three verses, is the devotees are saying that when we're in contact with Krishna, when we're in contact with you, Krishna, there's no question of anything inauspicious. There's no question of any distress for us. We're immersed, it says in this verse, immersed in total happiness, ananda samplavam, total immersion in bliss. And so I'd like to read one thing that I thought was also relevant from the 4th canto, Prithu Maharaj, speaking to Lord Vishnu in the sacrificial arena. And this is going back to text 3, this understanding of the emanation from the mouth of a pure devotee, how important and special that is. So I'll just read this verse and parts of the purport, and then we can stop and have reflections and questions. So this is Maharaj Prithu speaking. in the 4th canto. My dear Lord, you are glorified by the selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of your lotus feet is just like saffron particles. When the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotees carries the aroma of the saffron dust of your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. Devotees thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of your pure devotee. Purport. It is explained in the previous verse that one has to hear glorification of the Lord from the mouth of a pure devotee. This is further explained here. The transcendental vibration from the mouth of a pure devotee is so powerful that it can revive the living entity's memory of his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our material existence, under the influence of illusory Maya, we have almost forgotten our eternal relationship with the Lord, exactly like a man sleeping very deeply who forgets his duties. In the Vedas, it is said that every one of us is sleeping under the influence of Maya. We must get up from this slumber and engage in the right service, for thus we can properly utilize the facility of this human form of life. As expressed in a song by Thakur Bhaktivinoda, Lord Chaitanya says, Jeev Jago, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up. The Lord asks every sleeping living entity to get up and engage in devotional service so that his mission in this human form of life may be fulfilled. This awakening voice comes through the mouth of a pure devotee. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord, taking shelter of his lotus feet, and therefore he has a direct connection with the saffron mercy particles that are strewn over the lotus feet of the Lord. Although when a pure devotee speaks, the articulation of his voice may resemble the sound of this material sky, the voice is spiritually very powerful because it touches the particles of saffron dust on the lotus feet of the Lord. As soon as a sleeping living entity hears the powerful voice emanating from the mouth of a pure devotee, he immediately remembers his eternal relationship with the Lord, although up until that moment he had forgotten everything. For a conditioned soul, therefore, it is very important to hear from the mouth of a pure devotee, who is fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord, without any material desire, speculative knowledge, or contamination of the modes of material nature. Every one of us is ku-yogi, because we have engaged in the service of this material world, forgetting our eternal relationship with the Lord as his eternal loving servants. It is our duty to rise from the ku-yoga platform to become su-yogis, or perfect mystics. The process of hearing from a pure devotee is recommended in all Vedic literatures, especially by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One may stay in his position of life. It does not matter what it is. But if one hears from the mouth of a pure devotee, he gradually comes to the understanding of his relationship with the Lord, and thus engages in his loving service, and his life becomes completely perfect. Therefore, this process of hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee is very important for making progress in the line of spiritual understanding. So, whether it's the intoxicating liquor that's gushing from their mouth into the drinking cup of our ears, or if it's the sound vibration which is strewn with the saffron dust particles, saffron mercy dust particles of Krishna's lotus feet, that's we're coming in contact with, coming out of the mouth of the pure devotee. We have to take advantage of hearing from the devotees. And there's many ways we can do that. So there's really no excuses, I work too much. Prabhupada said in that purport, you can stay in any position of life. Doesn't matter what it is, but just hear from a pure devotee, and you'll awaken your eternal relationship with God. So I notice in my life that whenever I feel the clutches of Maya, trying to take me under, just like the crocodile grabbing a Gajendra, the crocodile of Maya, it's really because I'm not hearing properly. And hearing is not something we do just once. It has to be nityam bhagavata sevaya, nitya. That means always. That means 24/7. But our acharyas also comment that means, every day, either continuously or continually. So some sort of consistent practice of hearing has to be there to stay in the fire of devotional service, to stay on the spiritual platform. And then there can be no misfortune, there can be no inauspiciousness, because we're in direct contact with the mercy of the Lord through the mercy of the pure devotee. So I'd like to stop there and open up for comments and questions, reflections, corrections, whatever anyone has to say. Yeah, back to Matthew.
Hare Krishna. I've heard that Giriraj is the best Haridas, and I think about this diorama we have here on the deity's right side of the temple with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu carrying Haridas Thakur. And I also relate it to how I've heard that when you're circumambulating the Giriraj Shila, or if you're at
Govardhan Hill.
Mm-hmm. Then your wishes are heard more effectively. Your desires are answered. So I'm kind of seeing just how it goes both ways with since it's so pure, devotional.
I'm not sure if I totally understood what your point was, but I will say this, that any contact with Govardhan Hill is certainly auspicious, destroys all inauspiciousness, and that's certainly an extreme spiritual asset in our lives if we can do that. Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu. In Canto 4, yeah, it's Canto 4, Chapter 20, verse 25. That was the verse in purport about the saffron dust mercy particles emanating from the Lord's lotus feet through the mouths of the pure devotees. 4:20-25. Bhakti Doug?
I just wanted to relate the topic to in the Bhagavad Gita verse in chapter 4. I don't know, is it text 29 where it's talking about approaching a spiritual master?
Sorry, what was it? 4, you're talking about the Gita?
Yeah, which
434?
434,
yeah.
Okay. And I was just relating it to what you were speaking about, the necessity of associating with pure devotees, with people who are elevated higher than you and have deeper realization. And it said he can bestow knowledge because he has seen the truth. And I don't yet have that realization. I haven't had these experiences to grant me that faith and this conviction. So I notice that when I'm around those who have spent a lot more time, who have a lot more realization, especially Maharaj, and doing the readings every day with him, there's so much more power behind the words that he's saying. And just being in his presence, I feel more inspired and more uplifted.
Yeah, you can feel it. It's pretty palatable. Or I'm sorry, tangible. It's tangible effect. Being in the presence and hearing from, advanced devotees. It's much. It's absolutely necessary to do. We can't just read the books ourselves. We should read Prabhupada's books and hear from Prabhupada and his purports, absolutely. But even that has to be done under guidance. Otherwise, what I see happen is miscontextualization, misinterpretation, misunderstanding, misappropriation for one's own motives, actually. I've seen this. that to understand what's being said in the Bhagavatam, said in these books, we have to hear how the devotees have understood it. So, I mean, in one sense, reading from Prabhupada's pretty clear. But even that we need a guru for. We need the guru to teach us how to hear from Prabhupada. So it's important that we that's one nice thing about Keshav Bharati Maharaj's program is reading Srila Prabhupada's books out loud in the association of devotees. It's like flawless. No mistakes are made, and he's there. There's an advanced devotee there. Anyone who starts speculating, it's immediate. There's a atmosphere of truth and devotion there, and that's essential. That is so essential for our movement. That's so essential for individually, but for the movement, to actually have that going on everywhere, and as much as possible, and as many people as possible taking part in it. Otherwise, there's the tendency for speculation to creep in, and then it becomes something else. So, that's disciplic succession. Prabhupada's books are the law books, and then Prabhupada's disciples. We read Prabhupada's books with Prabhupada's disciples, who have assimilated them and have a mood of part of Prabhupada's mood of spreading Krishna consciousness. And, at one time then we'll have to take on that role of also hearing Prabhupada's books and sharing that, descending that mood, mission, and knowledge. Chaitanya Prabhu.
I think in the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam's introduction, Srila Prabhupada clearly states that this need to be heard from a self-realized soul.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it would be like drinking the milk which is touched by a snake. Means, like if you hear from someone else, that's what he puts in the introduction of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first chant.
Yeah, you're referring to the verse, I think Sanatana Goswami is quoted have written it. I'm not sure exactly where it is from, but that if you shouldn't hear the holy names from the mouth of a non-devotee, because it's like drinking milk that's been touched by the lips of a serpent. So it actually has poisonous effects instead of health-giving effects. So that's also relevant in the sense that we should be a little bit should have some discrimination who we hear from. It's not that, we were at that one event on Saturday at the Meenakshi temple, and there was plenty of people there who knew about Krishna, and they were trying to tell us about Krishna. And for one who's maybe newer, they might think, oh wow, this person knows something about Krishna, let me hear from them. But most of it was a bunch of misconceptions, heavy misconceptions about who Krishna is and everything. So it'll have a poisonous effect. What to speak of Mayavadis, and there's some, it's so prevalent. So Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava Ki Jai. So it's our duty to hear from the proper source so that we ourselves can actually represent that proper source. Prabhupada says this, there's a quote right here on this book point board, something about, Prabhupada says, just repeat what I've said. Just repeat what I've written in my books, repeat what I've told you, and that's perfect. Of course, there's room for our own, it's not like we can, repeating what Prabhupada says doesn't mean that we can't use any other example except the ones that Prabhupada used, But we should make sure that example is correct. That takes a little bit of guidance and intelligence and experience. So speaking according to realization and speaking according to the acharyas, how do I say, instruction, direction, then those shouldn't be exclusive things. In other words, that's my point now, is that those shouldn't be exclusive. That I don't want to just repeat what Prabhupada says. Well, you don't have to put it in your own words, but you should say what he's saying, actually, if that makes sense. So, anyways, I don't want to go too far on that point. That'll open up another thing. But anything else?
I think incidentally when you were saying that one, Krishna also agrees when you got the conchal voice. So when you were saying that thing about not hearing from the people who thought they knew too much about Krishna, and then the conchal blew.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's like Krishna was agreeing.
Sure. Hey Prabhu, if you're saying that Krishna was appreciative at that point, then we'll take it. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.